self-care comes in so many different ways. What is it? Why would you do it? And why do you need it? Sometimes we're living in a real state of confusion, thinking that we're the only ones going through it, when in fact, there's a lot of people going through this. It is really important that we take care of ourselves and make ourselves look and feel pretty. It is up to us. Hello and good afternoon. My name is Rita Mavunda, and you are watching us on probably on our YouTube channel, TIA Wellness Marketplace, TIA being Tashana Investment Africa. TIA, we are the new face of Africa, and that's why we call ourselves this. And today I just want to kind of talk to you about self-care, especially as women. We're going to kind of talk about self-care. I'm going to tell you about some of the stuff we have going on and why you might want it for yourself if you're kind of feeling some of these things, right? So we already know the importance of self-care, right? And that has kind of been a big theme lately, kind of everywhere, right? Like self-care in terms of your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, your family health, all of these different things where I think traditionally, especially as women, we really neglect those areas. I feel as women, once we become mothers, once we become wives, our lives are never really our own lives. We are always either referred to as your husband's wife, or you're always the mom to your kids. And as women, we never really get a space to talk about just what it is to be a woman, right? We are the smarter gender girls. You already know it. The future is female. Ladies, for those of y'all who don't know that, y'all need to get on board. The future is female. For you enlightened men who already know it, Karibu Tena, you are welcome. And for the rest of y'all men who ain't getting it, just get on board and let's just move ourselves progressively as a movement and as a culture. But anyways, more for that later. Anyways, self-care. What is it? Why would you do it? And why do you need it? Self-care is exactly that. Self, me, I, myself, alone, and care. Making sure that you are sorted. Making sure that your needs have been met. Making sure that what you need to have met to be your best self, right? And self-care comes in so many different ways, right? But I think as women, I think it's really important that we nowadays take care of ourselves, right? Because let's be honest, if you're not good, they're not going to be good. At least in my life, that's how I kind of run myself. If I'm not good, y'all ain't going to be good. And it's just that simple. So wouldn't it just be better if I was good so that we all could be good? And that's really what this self-care means, right? So there's a lot of ways that we do self-care, right? The big ones that we're always talking about is exercise, making sure we're really moving our bodies, making sure that we get all of those good endorphins going through our bodies, all those feel-good movements, and just also the pleasure of knowing that your body is such a beautiful machine and that you are exercising that machine so that it can be at its best. We have self-care beauty regimens, right? Ladies, let's be honest, as we age and we get older, we need our serums, we need our moisturizers, we need our cleansers, our toners, all of that to be our best selves. And it's important, right? Like when you look pretty, when you feel pretty, when you are pretty, all of that, it just automatically makes you feel good, right? I know during the COVID myself, I haven't really been dressed up all that much because I didn't really know where to go, right? Pretty much I work and I go to bed, right? And now because a lot of our work is working from home, you don't really have to be dressed up in a suit and wear heels. You don't have to really gussy yourself up because it's where are you going, right? You at home. But it is really important that, we take care of ourselves and make ourselves look and feel pretty, right? When you feel pretty, you look and feel pretty, right? I am a really big believer in giving other women out there compliments. I do it all the time. I definitely know there have been places where I've had local ladies being like, you're embarrassing me, wait. And it's girl, you look real pretty today. I remember going out to Mateo's in Karen, and there was a family, and the lady, she was there with her husband and her daughter, and everybody was on their phone. It was so annoying, but the lady, she just looked so pretty. She had really dressed herself up. You could tell she had taken care for her Sunday. And I just remember and I saw, I was like, girl, you look real good today. And if your man ain't told you that, I'm letting you know, you done did that, And so again, all of that to say just that self-care of all of that. Another really big one that we know in terms of really self-care is managing our own mental health, right? And really being aware with what we need for our mental health so that we can be sane, right? as women in particular, we're getting stuff thrown at us all the time, right? Like if you're a working woman, I mean, you're going to work. If you've got kids, you're coming home. You got to take care of these kids. If you got your man in the house, you got to deal with him. You got to deal with just house stuff. It's just, we're always getting pulled in so many different directions. And, culturally, we're always being told like that's what you're supposed to do and you should just be able to do it. But sometimes as women, we don't really talk about like the stress of it, right? It's hard, it's heavy. Sometimes you just don't feel like doing it. How about that, right? Sometimes it's like, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to see these kids. I definitely don't want to see this man. And I'm not cooking nothing. I'm not cleaning nothing. I want to sit. But we're always berated for that, right? We're always being told you can't do that. And the thing is that if we don't take care of our mental health, we're not going to be good for nobody. And mental health can be so many different things, right? Stress, anxiety, depression. Maybe you might even be a schizophrenic, right? Like, how do you manage that? How do you find people who can understand that? And so it's really important to be able to have real support for your mental health and really making sure that you yourself are doing the self-care required so that your mental health is in check, right? Sleep. As women, when we're being pulled in every direction, I mean, sometimes you'll hear ladies on average are only sleeping 4 and 5 hours a night. And when you really look at the statistics of what they're saying, I mean, a real good night's sleep, it's conducive for everything, right? This is now where your body gets to regenerate. This is now where you get to rejuvenate yourself. I mean, think about it. You put your serums on at night so that way you're not disrupting the benefits of all of that. So if you're taking the time at night to put the serums on, you need your sleep, right? What is it? They say on average, you should be getting between 7 to 8 hours per night. And for a lot of women, that is really hard. I'm not gonna lie, for myself, y'all, I get my full beauty rest, okay? I don't play no games with my sleep. I need it, and it's a non-negotiable. I'm usually in bed between 10 and 11 every night, and I'm probably up by like 7. And I'm getting my full hours because if I don't get sleep, like I said, remember I told you, if I'm not good, y'all not good. If I don't get my sleep, y'all not gonna be good. So sleep is a real big thing. And another thing that I think that sometimes as women we don't talk about, and especially because once you are married and you have kids, is that you do need your girl tribe. You do need a support group. You do need somewhere where you can go vent and be okay to vent about it and not feel shame for it, not feel guilt for it, not feeling bad. There are times that, listen, you might have your kids and it's like, I wish I'd never done it. And maybe it's just like a passing thought. Maybe it just might be because you're so overwhelmed with whatever is going on around you. But it's real, right? I'll give you a story. I remember when I was working as a public defender, as a trial lawyer, I remember when I was working in juvenile in particular, I one time had a mom who had called me and she had adopted some kids. And she had adopted, one of the girls that she had adopted was just like a real terror. Like she was a real terror. I mean, it is what it is. And I'm sure it has to do a lot with what, whatever her birth parents' house was like before she was adopted. Anyways, I remember listening to the mom and we were talking and she was like, Rita, if I could give her back, I'd give her back. And then I remember right when she said it, she kind of caught herself. And I was like, it's a safe space, Ma. It's a safe space. I understand what you're saying. Like sometimes it's overwhelming. And when you don't have the support, when you don't have somebody who can just help you, that overwhelming feeling, it's going to make you feel negative thoughts, which is okay because listen, we are all human and it's hard sometimes just to be positive all the time, right? We have learned, right? Once you really change your mindset to be more positive, things are easier. But look, shit happens, life happens. It is what it is. And I remember she just felt really bad that she was saying, I wish I could give her back. My husband, my relationship with my husband is getting screwed up. My home life is screwed up. Every day when she's in school, she's like, I'm getting calls to have to pick her up. So my job is getting messed up. And you can really understand and be able to empathize with this lady when she's saying that, but you don't really blame her. I definitely didn't judge her. I definitely wanted her to feel that I was a safe space for her to be able to speak to. But it is really important for us as women to be able to find our tribe, right? And it's not about quantity, right? The older and older we get, the more and more you realize it's not the quantity, it's that quality, right? I know definitely like in my 20s, I mean, I was a street runner. I loved being out. I loved just being like different groups, like, hey, Rita, we're out here, come here, boom, boom, boom. I'm going all over the place. Now that I've gotten older, I'm good. Like, if this is not serving me, I'm not dealing with it. Thank you so much. and you are welcome to continue and go on. I'm totally about the quality now, y'all. I only got a handful of females that I really kick it with, where they know me, I know them. I can feel safe when I want to say something. If I'm feeling a way, I'll be able to say it. I'm not going to feel it anyway. And that is about the quality of your tribe, the quality of your community, right? And so I think these are some of the things that we need to think about as women, and the importance of self-care. I've kind of just weaved it in and out, but for myself, I'm super self-care because, like I said, if I'm not good, y'all not good. And for me, I definitely take a lot of time. Like in the mornings, I'll try to like really meditate, maybe like 15 minutes. Guided meditation is a lot easier for me, where it's somebody kind of moving you through the process, opposed to me sitting there in silence. I like being able to have a voice to be able to guide me into where I'm trying to get to, so I can feel more peace, so I can feel more calmness, so I'm not feeling as anxious. Right? For those of you guys, I mean, as working people, I mean, myself as a business owner, bro, there's a lot of anxiety, right? There's a lot of stressors where you're like, where is this going to come from? How are we going to move this? What are we doing? It's a lot. And taking that time to really have some quiet in the morning for myself, it's a real big help. I'm a crazy plant lady. All right. I'm a crazy plant lady. My house is covered in plants. And that really has to do a lot with, after living in New York in a concrete jungle on a first floor, you know, facing the garbage apartment with the bars over my window. I needed trees in my life, right? I needed trees in my life. I needed to see the greenery. And I really created an indoor-outdoor jungle, right? I'll show you guys a little picture, but like my living room itself, I probably have like 6 or 7 plants just right now looking at me, you know? And I needed it, right? And again, why? It's for that whole mental side of myself. I need to be able to make sure that my house is at peace. I need to be able to make sure that I have somewhere where I can go and I can have calmness and quiet and solitude, because that is really when, for myself, I'm really allowed to think, right? Sometimes when we are as women, we're surrounded by everybody, right? Especially if those of you guys who have like younger kids, it's like all you ever hear is mom, mom, mom. And sometimes it's like, God damn it, shut up. I hear you. I'm coming. Give me a minute. We don't get silence. We don't get solitude. So I have really noticed that sometimes incorporating a little bit of silence in the morning for me is very helpful. It really does help me to calm and settle myself. Beauty-wise, I be doing all the things, girl. I'm trying to look old. I'm not trying to look old. And remember, I'm from Miami. I believe in all the Botox, the fillers, and all of that. I'm going to do it, girls. I'm going to do it. I don't care what nobody got to say. I'm doing it. But until we really get to that point, you know, I do massages every week, right? Massage is amazing. The other thing that sometimes you don't really realize, right, is that when we are living kind of these lives, you don't realize the importance of touch. A hug, a handshake, just being able to be near and close to somebody. And what's nice with massages is that you do get a touch, not a sexual touch, right? Because not all touches have to be sexual, but that being able to feel somebody else that's on you, it makes you feel more connected with yourself. And then on top of that, just all the benefits of getting just a great massage, right? It really helps with the stress. It really helps with being able to calm your body down. It really does help to make sure everything's moving in your body. And the one thing we realize, the older and older we get, the more and more sedentary we get. And it's literally the worst thing that we could do for ourselves, right? Which also now brings me to, I'm very big on working out, right? Where, you know, could a girl lose some pounds? For sure. However, that's not for me the main goal of doing exercise, right? For me, I don't want to be a decrepit old person. I don't want to have hip problems. I don't want to have knee problems. I don't want ankle problems. I don't want none of that, right? Insofar as I can mitigate it, insofar as I can control that part, that's what I'm going to do. And the one thing that's nice about being out here is to be able to find just even a personal trainer. For me, like I said, I'm built more for pleasure, not really for the exercise. So because I know that about myself, I've just hired my own personal trainer. He's great. He's like my paid best friend, right? He is like my therapy session, but it's also really nice because he really makes me move. He makes me like do stuff. Like the other day, girls, I literally was able to do a chest press of 30 kgs. That's a lot. That's a lot. But anyways, you need to do exercise. You need to be able to move your body. You need to be able to do that because also what does that do? It does keep you younger, ladies, right? And let's be honest, that's the whole point, ain't it? So anyway, so like all of this, right? Like I'm out here, I've got a business out here. We are pushing new products. So what's interesting is that We've been getting a lot of feedback from women in particular about, fine, Rita, we're talking about self-care, we're talking about beauty, we're talking about exercise, we're talking about management of stress, we're talking about that. But what's interesting is that one thing that we don't talk a lot about, but it is just as equally important, is our sexual health, right? And, because we live here in Kenya, because we're living here in Africa, we are in a very conservative society. Talking about sex, talking about reproductive health, talking about those types of issues, in particular related to women, it's very taboo. We don't talk about it, but it's happening. Everybody around us is having sex, right? But we don't talk about it. We don't talk about maybe some of the issues that happen with sex as we get older, right? And again, because some of these conversations are taboo, because these are things that maybe we don't grow up talking to our moms, our older aunts about, we don't really get a way forward, and sometimes we're living in a real state of confusion thinking that we're the only ones going through it, when in fact, when you start talking to people, you realize there's a lot of people going through this. There are so many people around, right? Like, give you an example. The other day I was out on Sunday and I'd gone out to just kind of like an event just to meet other people out, and I was talking about the sexual health, and then one of the girls who was there next to me, she was like, Rita, she's an older girl, she's going she's in her menopause now, and she was like, my vagina is so dry. She likes having sex, but it's not fun having sex when your vagina is dry, right? If you don't have a lube or something like that, it just becomes hurtful, right? It's not pleasurable. And the whole point of having sex is there should be an aspect of pleasure, in particular for us as women, right? If you think about it, what is the clitoris? The clitoris is nothing but a little nub with all the nerve endings, purely for pleasure, ladies, purely for pleasure. And for those of you ladies who have never experienced an orgasm, DM me, call me, I'm gonna help y'all out. Because there is no reason why y'all should be out here having sex without at least having the blessed relief of a wonderful orgasm at the end of it. But again, even to be able to get to that, let's say we're dealing with certain sexual issues that don't make you feel sexy. Your vagina is dry. Maybe you're having hormone imbalance. Maybe you are having fertility imbalances, right? Maybe there's just so much stress that's going on in your life that you're just not feeling sexual. And the thing is that sexual health, positive sexual health, also leads to, not only feeling better, because it's releasing all of those good endorphins, right? All those natural highs that you get after having sex. That is really important for self-care, right? Because that is another part of you being able to make yourself feel better. And when you feel better, you are better. And so I don't want us to dismiss that. So because we've been getting so much feedback for that, we created a whole new product, right? If the market asks, we're listening. And if it falls in line with what we're trying to do with our wellness business, our wellness marketplace, I got you, right? And so we created a whole new product just for you ladies, right? It's called ReFine Me. Girls, let me say it again for you. ReFine Me. When you hear that, it just makes you feel like, wait a second, are you saying there's a product out here that can make me feel better inside, so that because my insides feel better, my outsides are better? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying to you. Girls, I got you. And the thing is that we were getting a lot of feedback from the market because people wanted something that was a natural remedy, right? Not something where you're going to the doctor and you're taking pills and you're having to take all of these, tests and all of that. No. Herbal, natural. That's exactly for that. And so we heard you, girls. And I got you something. And it's called ReFine Me. It's this beautiful new product that we've created. It's a natural product, and it's a natural product made from maca. Maca is a root that comes from Peru. It has been used in ancient Peruvian civilization, ancient South American civilizations, exactly for that sexual wellness, that sexual revitalization, that sexual awakening. And they've been using it for years. There are 3 macas that are on the market: yellow maca, red maca, black maca. Our product is amazing because we have all 3 macas in it. And the black maca is the one that's really known for helping with sexual health. The beauty also with these products, and especially for you ladies, it's great for fertility. Are some of you ladies struggling with maybe getting pregnant? Are some of you ladies really seeing an issue with that? Research has shown that maca is actually a real helper with helping women to have greater fertility, helping with conceiving. Maybe some of you ladies who are undergoing IVF treatments. This might be a product that you would like to add to your regimen with your injections, that natural herbal side of it to really help to boost your body naturally. For you ladies who are going through menopause, right? Again, this is now a new phase in our womanhood that we are going through, right? We are now entering into a different phase in our life and our body is going haywire, right? It's nuts, night sweats, moody, tired, annoyed, up and down, which is purely hormonal as our body moves into this next phase. And we've got a lot of women who've been asking, I gotta get something to get these menopausal symptoms under control. I got you. I heard you. I got it. ReFine Me. Our 3 maca products that are inside of it really help to manage those hormonal issues, really helps with those menopausal issues. And why not take a product that is natural? It's coming from the US. Our products are all made in GMP certified facilities. And we want to bring you guys quality and product, right? So one of the other side effects, and this doesn't have to be necessarily menopausal women, right? Maybe you're taking medication, maybe you're a diabetic and you've noticed vaginal dryness. And you're just noticing that your little lady is not juicing up and moistening up the way it was when you were in your 20s. I heard you, I got you. ReFine Me. A lot of the research has shown, a lot of the feedback that we've been receiving is this product is really helping women to rejuvenate their little lady. And who doesn't want to have better sex, y'all? Who doesn't want to be able to just feel good after engaging and all of that, right? And so our ReFine Me product is exactly that. So who is it for? It's for any woman who's really experiencing certain hormonal issues, vaginal dryness, fertility issues, wanting to feel sexier, wanting to feel better. ReFine Me is the product for you. I don't want you out here suffering for no reason. I want you to have a safe space where you can come and get the information that you need. Call me. I've got a background in this area. I grew up with a doctor. I've done nothing but these types of things, and I want you guys, and because I've heard you guys, I bought you a product that really can work for you, right? Another thing that we're really doing with the ReFine Me is creating a safe space for women to really be able to discuss. Because in our cultures, these are real taboo. We don't really have anywhere to talk about it. But let's be honest, every woman gets her period. Every woman deals with some issue with this. Every woman has some hormonal something because we're women and hormones is what runs our full reproductive system for us to be women. We've created the Ladies Lounge. And the Ladies Lounge is a safe space for you to get the information that you want. You're welcome to come anonymously. You're welcome to come as yourself. But I don't want you to suffer in silence and think that nobody's out here listening. I don't want you to feel as though there's nobody out here who isn't creating a place for you to come and get your information. I wanted to also bring you a product that was natural, that was herbal, that was plant-based. Not something that's been created in a laboratory, not something that you feel like, oh God, now I'm on another medication. No. So our product is a 1-month supply, 60 pills. You take 2 pills per day. If this is your first time taking our product, we suggest that for the first month you use our product as intended, that you take the product twice a day for the rest of the month. Usually you should start to feel maybe a difference within your 3rd week, but we want you to finish out the regimen. After you've started to do that, then you can just self-regulate. You know yourselves. You know yourself. Maybe you realize I don't need 2 every day. Maybe you realize you only need 1 a day. Maybe you don't even need it every day. Maybe you need it every 2 to 3 days. The thing is, you know yourself, you're engaged with yourself, you're self-aware, and our product is really here to help you become the better version of yourself, ladies. I want us to be better. Like I told you guys, the future is female. For those who don't get it, they need to get on board. It is up to us. And because I am a woman, and because I do believe in womanhood, because I believe in empowerment of women, I'm here for you. And I want you guys to try our product, ReFine Me, subscribe below. Like I said, TIA Market Wellness Marketplace, our Ladies Lounge on IG. You can look us up, hashtag ReFine Me, find us, like us. I'm out here living the life, building the dream, and I'm here for you. Thanks. Bye.